Hello, everybody. Ryan Carpenter here with No BS Golf, presented to you by P45 Knuckle Down Golf. That's right. Your destination for the best golf. Everything you need, whether it's getting better, I'll teach you what you need to do and how to do it to improve your game. We got club fitting, we got everything at the golf pub we need, the best environment to develop the golf swing before we take it outside and start putting it into action. You name it. Plus, my partners, the pub, they got the best entertainment in the biz right now. All around this area, you can't go anywhere else and play the golf courses all over the world. Watch the sports on the TV you want to watch. Go up there late at night, party with your friends, have some great beers. They got the fall line sitting there ready to go, plus some other great beverages you can enjoy as well. So we got it all, folks. And we are rocking and rolling, moving into the 2025 season here. And lots going on. Been trying to catch up for a long time, to be honest. But we had the wedge giveaway. Hopefully some of y'all saw it. If not, you got to be paying attention because, it's coming up again. Another one will be coming up down the road here. And had some little checklist things to do with the old, the Facebook, the Twitter, all the stuff we got to do to promote ourselves out there in the world. And, and that's one of those things. The best thing, if anything, you could go to my Google business profile and give it a 5-star rating and a little note. I'd appreciate it. But anyhow, we had a free Ping brand new wedge for the spring of 25 that we gave away. And Sheila Burke, she was the winner of that one. So congrats, Sheila. Thanks for helping me out. And I do appreciate it. And we're going to get this wedge, in your hands soon and get you, working with it and learning it and seeing the difference. Wedges are key of all the equipment that we need for one, but we definitely got to change often too is a big one. Is the wedges because they just wear out so dang quickly is the biggest problem. So that's why I want to do that. And that was a big help promoting, doing all that fun stuff out there. So come across something here the other day. I did write an article and maybe tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see it here in the Houston Home Journal. And I wanted to do a posting about it too. So one of the things that, come across very often in this business, and you got, do it a long time, especially, but was having a conversation and got to some young fellas, and I get it. Talking about some new companies, new golf equipment, especially new iron makers, golf club makers. And I get it. They're real good. And all. So, the way I try to approach this, it's hard because until you have enough time to have a thorough conversation. So I went and did so in the past 15 or 20 years or something or so, we've had about 150 golf equipment manufacturing companies try to break into the industry. And what happens is there's a lot of problems because you've got the big five, your main core companies that have been around since, some of them 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, got way out ahead of everybody else. And everybody else is playing major catch up in lots of ways. It's not one category. So there's the R&D alone. I can't remember what the numbers were. I'll try to regurgitate it, but plain and simple, between the big five, we've got. I'll see if I can pull up the article here to get my numbers straight again. About, I think it was $5 billion in annual sales. Okay, and so they've gotten real dang big. And they've gotten so big that they're able to do things you just can't do as a startup company. First of all, and until you get the chance, Ping's the best because you can actually go back to the plant. Hold on a second. And you can actually go and visit and they'll take you in the tour and anyways. But anyways, we've got 15 billion, in total sales annually. Well, every year alone, those companies put in about, 500 million roughly back into the R&D only, just researching the hell how to build this tiny little damn club we use, right? And so from head to toe, from design and curvy this and angling that and the groove thingies, the material that they use, the weighting and the balancing and the shifting and the way that every damn little tiny molecule of this freaking golf club, they are investing ridiculous amounts of money in because they know how important it is, for one, and they've got the number one thing in hand as well. So they've got the R&D, they've got the processes and the manufacturing plant and the years of experience. But then they've also got the other part too, is they've got already their hands on the most important thing, which is the tour pro. The people that are watching golf go with what they see logoed all over the dang, you name it. And so, they're telling me about this. And then they started, they told me about a golf club. And I said, okay, I get it. But you just got to understand, it's not the same thing. A little startup company. So let's go into the examples. Okay, so Nike Golf's by far the biggest example. They tried to jump in. Obviously, they had Tiger. They signed Tiger, and that was the biggest thing for them for their apparel line. Huge, and because that's what they know. And then they signed. They bought into the golf business, and they just didn't know what they were getting into. And it's a different business than normal Nike corporate operations. And so they struggled mightily, and for sure to the point Tiger never technically played a Nike iron, to be honest. They just stamped it and made it by another company, but that's a different story for another day. But anyways, they just couldn't make a golf club. They thought they could just jump in and magically be able to, do this thing, and that just wasn't the case. And so then they finally gave up after a few years on that, and they said, fine, let's go hire somebody who knows what they're doing. Well, they went and they found one of the best guys in the industry, been around for decades, and they hired him up. But he said on one condition, we got to we got to do this different. This is the golf business. This is not the apparel business. You got to separate Nike Golf from the parent company. And they were like, we don't do that. That's not how it works. And took some convincing, and finally they did. And they gave him full control. And he tried, but at that point, I think it was just a little too late. So, anyways, the point is, like, a company like Nike failed to produce equipment that came to market that made even a dent in what the Big Five are doing. Well, that's the same thing. These startup companies, who were they looking at the other day? I think it was another one that would actually be more successful would be PXG. But we're talking 15 billions from the Big Five, and PXG is only getting I think it was like 100 million max. That's a lot of money. That is not the point. But we're talking on a scale level of 15 billion and 100 million. Old Bob's got enough going that he's going to probably maintain at least a little presence, similar to some of the smaller groups Byron Nelson's still around, and Hogan is still around, and there's a handful of these little companies that have kind of lasted at least long enough just to kind of keep enough money moving through the door to keep going, but they're not touching the 15 billion. It's too big. And those Big Five companies have got so much going on that catching up and taking a piece of their action is just almost impossible now. You might get a little bit. And one of my favorites was way back, the Mac Power Sphere. This fella, this corporate giant, Mr. Burroughs, created his own Burroughs Golf Company. And he came in with this crazy looking golf equipment. He had this, what he called quick fitting system, which was junk, to be honest. But anyways, but he hit the industry, face on, just smacked everybody. And then so we went to the PGA show that first year that he came into the business, and this guy had even joined the PGA ranks. He was trying to get his PGA membership. This guy spent millions of dollars trying to break in, and guess what? It didn't last. He disappeared. He folded eventually. And so it's just such a difficult thing. And so, whatever it was. I don't even remember the brand name, to be honest, because it's just not until you study this stuff really, really in depth. This club that they showed me, it reminded me of Mura. They've been around for a while. Now they're a little different because they're over there in I believe it's Japan, but like Sub 70 is a European design that a couple years now, I believe. But they're just not gonna scale to the size, of in Sub 70 is a good example of a different style of company. It's direct to consumer. So what they're trying to do is underprice the big dogs, and they're making some good equipment. I'm not telling you that it's bad equipment. I'm going to tell you this though. They don't have the scale ability to catch up to the big five. They just don't. Are these clubs pretty good? Possibly, yes. Do I really think that they are, best way to say it, ever going to be like supremely better than the big five? No, that's just not going to happen. So, if you like them, it's fine. But I just got news for you out there, folks. It's just you got to do a little bit of some serious research or talk to somebody that knows, and just understand that the big five have got a major advantage over all these little guys. These little guys, most of them, they're lucky to pull in $1 million in sales. Very lucky. Trust me. And that's why eventually most of them go bankrupt, because they end up trying to scale up, and then they get like business loans and things to try to get more and more. And unfortunately, it doesn't work out because they just can't. It's the sustainability of the industry. Just the big dogs just boat race them, and they just crush them. So anyhow, it was just something. It was an interesting conversation, and it's a tough when you see this, whatever it was, Tacoma or something, and then they started talking about like the online the influencers, and I get it, that is the rage currently, but the one thing that I'll say about these influencers is this: and you gotta be careful with these influencer stuff. They're getting some cool deals right now, and good for them, but the problem with influencers is you get paid to say things when you upscale to that level, and it can backfire because all of a sudden you become a talking head for somebody, and you may not be able to say the things you want to say. Let's just put it that way. So, but an influencer telling me that if something is good, I just got news for you. That don't mean nothing to me. I don't care if they're even a great golfer. That doesn't fit the level of information when you're paid, especially to club fit people and teach them golf. You need to know way the hell more than what an influencer tells me about a damn golf club. I can tell you that right now. It takes a much higher level of testing, data, understanding of the company, the equipment, the manufacturing process, the materials they're using, what balances they use to build the club. Like, I need to know way the heck more than what some flashy dude on the screen fucking says about a damn golf ball or club or whatever, because it's BS. That ain't going to tell me jack nothing. So sorry, but that's just the truth. That's just the way it is. So, whatever it was, Tacoma, and there's Sub 70, and there's all kinds of little small firms out there making equipment, but they're just not going to catch up. It's just the way it is. So anyhow, just be careful with your equipment and all your stuff and what you think and feel. And I get it. And if you haven't been around, so like when it comes to the Tacoma, I'll kind of wrap it up this way, is that it's this. I've seen this company like 9 million times in the last, 150 times in the last 20 years. This is nothing new. It's I've got some way, to magically, break in. It's like the Sub 70. They got their way of doing it, and I get it, and it's fine. Direct to consumer, that's cool. Cut out the middleman, but good luck to them. Good luck to Tacoma. I mean, hopefully they're making something that's going to do great for them. I'm not saying they're not. It's just, the barrier to reaching the big five is just too big. The gap has been established. They've cornered that market. The last one to really break in, maybe you could possibly say Strixon, maybe, but they're part of a bigger group, so it's not really them that broke in, and so, anyways. So, you got questions about that? Like, subscribe, share. Please help me out. I do appreciate it. Ask questions. Drop some questions down in there. Go to the old Twitters. There's all kinds of stuff I'm putting out on all the rest of it as well. Twitter at P45KDG, P45 Knuckle Down Golf at gmail.com. Reach out. Y'all want to get better? Go up to that little QR thing up there and go to the website. By the way, I can do remote learning. I discounted it 50% for a reason because I can't be in person. Doesn't mean we can't get the job done, but 50% off lessons all year long, remote. And yeah, I can help you from anywhere. Now we're coming to that part of the season. April 1's the deadline to get ready to play golf. Well, I got a whole list of things that I'm giving the players now that they got to start doing weekly to get ready and prepared. What are you doing for your game? I hope you're working on it because spring is a spring and it's coming. I mean, we got a little cold dip again here, but it's happening. We're almost there. So if y'all have anything else you want to talk about, let me know. And I think that's it for today. Ryan Carpenter, P45, Knuckle Down Golf, right here in Central Georgia. Warner Robins. This is No BS Golf. Take care.